Welcome, welcome. NFL Football Sunday. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed the action. My goodness, poor Aaron Glenn. Looks like Ben Johnson about to get his first win with the Bears. My goodness, I'm the doc, John Macaroon. Still battling a little something, but my goodness, I'm excited. Tomorrow, I'll be heading out to Baltimore early in the AM, going to check out the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. I'm excited, truly excited to check out the Lions in what maybe will be a Super Bowl preview. Going to talk about Derrick Henry. Going to talk about Lamar Jackson. What do you guys think? I think everybody's excited that, hey, a couple Ravens got injured. Got a lot of things to talk about over the next maybe 30, 45 minutes. I'm excited. It's a fun opportunity. It's a litmus test. That's what Dan Campbell and the players said. It was an interesting week this week. But I'm curious your guys' early thoughts. I'm curious because everybody's excited the Packers lost. That's always good. The Packers were never going undefeated, but road games are tough. Everybody's realizing, even the Bears, it's a week-to-week league. That's why you react the way you react against the Packers game, and you're happy when the Lions go out and dominate a team like the Bears. It's a week-to-week league. That's the way it goes. Man, Aaron Glenn was this close to a win, but Baker Mayfield has been unbelievable in running that Buccaneers offense. Man, a lot of defensive plays were made today. Special teams off the charts. Backup quarterbacks doing their thing. Unbelievable Vikings game. What did you guys watch today? What did you guys watch with the Lions out? I was doing stuff with the family. Did not get to enjoy NFL football without the Lions today. Did I miss it? Not really. You know, when you're locked into football, a week away a little bit is not so bad. You know, it's always good when a division rival loses, so it's great. Down the Packers. The Packers lost to the Browns. It looks like the Browns are going to be competitive. Everybody here in town kind of circled and penciled the Browns game at Ford Field to be a W. That could be quite the battle. Shout out to those early here, the first 100 people across two platforms. Shout out Donkey Kong, Braylon. Always appreciate you. Get your comments in. Super chats go right to the front of the line if you got questions. We're just going to talk about the Lions and the Ravens. The Lions are facing a team that has not lost a handful of games with Derrick Henry on the roster. It's Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. You got some things to deal with. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are heading into this game. I'm glad Isaiah Likely's out. Matabuke's out. That helps out a little bit. Isaiah Likely was a force. But you got to also deal with Mark Andrews. And you got to deal with Lamar Jackson. We're going to talk all about it. Teddy's very smart. You know it. When Myles Garrett's on your team, you're always going to have a chance. Braylon's Dallas. Dallas is trash. Get your comments in. You might get them read. Super chats go right to the front of the line. Thanks, everybody. Hit the like button. Hope everybody had a great weekend. College football was fun. Caught a little bit of Michigan State. I could barely hang on to the Michigan State game. Hey, they covered. That's a win. But my goodness, they took the field, more injuries. Man, that's tough, man. Michigan State, when they needed to stop, were not able to. Michigan was able to overcome a Hail Mary in the second half. And I think a lot of people didn't respect Nebraska all that much because they always kind of do this kind of thing where when it's time to execute late, they just fell short. But give credit to Michigan. A lot of the reason why Nebraska wasn't able to execute was because of Michigan. And their interim coach did the job. And he's funny. He's got himself a little personality. Going back and forth with Nick Saban, talking about and joking about paying players. That's fun. What are your guys' early thoughts about the Ravens game? Is this a Super Bowl preview? I think a lot of people believe that the Ravens have a chance, but I believe the Bills are the class of the AFC right now. Is how I look at it. The Bills have a quarterback in Josh Allen that's thriving. Their running back Cook has his new contract, and he's very happy, running like a machine. He's on my fantasy team. So the Ravens are tough, man. They're a team that's always going to have a handful of wins. They're going to play very well, but in the postseason, it just does not seem like they've been able to raise their level. But they're going to play well at home. M&T Bank Stadium, I'll be in attendance. My first time in Maryland. What should I do? I got all afternoon free before the game. I head over to the game about 5, 6 o'clock. get some seafood. Hopefully it's nice weather. Walk by the pier, I guess. Walk by the stadium. I'm excited to get out there. Lions need to have a 35 plus time of possession, in Ed O'Neill's opinion. Super smart. I agree with that. I'm excited. The Lions are going to have a litmus test. This is more of a litmus test than the Bears, but hey, you can't clown the Bears too much. Their coach is like, Ben Johnson, we do not practice like a Super Bowl caliber team or a championship caliber team, and it woke up the Bears. Maybe Ben Johnson pushed the right buttons for a week. But that's the past. The Bears are in the Lions' rearview mirror. It's on to the Ravens. I'm excited because it's a test for your defense. Do DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold take another step forward in week 3? First couple games for Terrion Arnold haven't been great. Everybody knows it. He's allowed far too high of a passer rating to opposing QBs. The defense didn't stop the run all that great against the Bears. So it's a litmus test. You have to step up. You have to step up, and you can't let the Ravens get out to a big lead. Sam Laporta said something very interesting, which I thought, was quite confident, but I'm not so sure he should have said it publicly. He felt like, hey, yeah, we could come back from a 21-point deficit. I think that was a little bit, very confident, a little too confident. You don't want to be behind the Ravens. Not every team's like the Bills that can come back just that quickly. They were down, 14-15 in that opener, and were able to pull off the comeback. I'm not so certain the Lions can do that. But he said it in front of the camera, said it in front of the world. What do you think is the biggest key? You guys, what do you think is the biggest key for the Lions to get this W? Ghetto Boy Juan. Them Spartans, they covered. That's a win, even though they came back with a loss. Nobody thought that they would win or compete. They did. They just couldn't get the stops late. They had it within a touchdown in the third quarter. I lasted 8 minutes into the game, and that was it. It was too much. Ghetto Boy Juan, Amik's getting a pick tomorrow, hopefully. Corey, how about them Packers? We all want to take a moment and laugh at the Packers for losing to the Browns in a low-scoring game. Road games are tough, especially after a player says they're going to go undefeated. That's funny. Sometimes players get full of themselves. Look, they're human too. They have confidence. You put a microphone at them at the right time, they might say something. But you're not supposed to say you're going to go undefeated. You got to respect your opponent. Xavier, shout out to you. Always enjoy seeing you in here. Passing game needs to stay on fire to open up our run game. Absolutely. It's 2 weeks in, and John Morton has told me 2 things he doesn't like. I wonder if he knows I'm a psychologist. It feels like he wants to tell me what he doesn't like. He doesn't like to talk about the last week's opponent too much after a loss. Week 1, he told me that. And then this week, I asked him about Mike Green, and he tells me directly, I don't like talking about other players. I almost said, well, I'm going to have to ask you about other opponents. I'm sorry. That was something else. I don't like talking about Mike Green. Well, it was, he gave the standard answer. They're formidable with their pass rush. But luckily, the Lions caught a break. One of their key pass rushers is not going to be there. So I think John Morton might tell me in 17 weeks. I don't know, though, this Thursday, if the schedule works out the same way. I don't know if I'm going to go to the coordinator's media session this week against the Browns. If I'm still feeling this way after travel, might make it a light media rounds for me this week. Family stuff to do as well. So we'll see. It's the Browns. Listen, it's kind of like a little mini buy in terms of media. Things will be so much to assess after the Ravens that I might just take a day to recover fully and just do nothing. I don't think I've done that in months where I just sit down and do nothing. But we'll see. I kind of am intrigued. Will John Morton tell me 17 things in 17 weeks what he doesn't like? I don't like talking about players. I don't like talking about scheme. I don't like talking about this and that. Oh, okay. I asked him a good, fair question. I just asked him about the Ravens pass rush and what he thought about Mike Green. Oh, man. How excited are you that the Packers lost? It's always good. You sit back and you see a rival lose and not play well. But remember, too, that's not really the Packers. Spartan Dog, Jaden Reed, not there. That's not the Packers. Things change. That's why it's a week-to-week league. Yeah. Browns are good defensively. People kind of sleep on that. That's right, Corey. What are your one or two keys for the Lions to win? To me, we're going to talk about it. The Ravens have only lost a handful of times with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. Just a handful, less than 10 losses in their couple of years together. Look, if the Ravens start scoring, it's going to be tough. When opposing defenses have limited Lamar Jackson to fewer than like 25 points, the percentage of opportunities to win go way up. But if they start scoring more than 25 points, it's going to be tough. Do you trust Calvin Shepard's defense? It's going to be a test because you had a week to game plan for Lamar Jackson. You've done a good job against Love and Caleb Williams, handful of explosive plays, but you've done a good job. But this is a whole different test. I want to see the defense. You're not going to limit Lamar Jackson, but keep the, 3-4 yards per carry, nothing of the explosive variety. You don't want to see him, scampering for 12 to 15 yards at a time. You don't want him getting momentum. Are you going to get a chance to get some momentum? I'm hoping that the Lions win the toss and take the football first. The Lions have been good at takeaways when they're playing well and they get opportunities to get the football back to the offense. Getting those turnovers is going to be key. I think Branch and Kirby Joseph have a say in this game. I'm curious to see Zay Flowers and what he's able to do against the Lions secondary. The Lions secondary has a chance to show out. The Lions defense, I think, is going to showcase, and you're going to see a lot of Calvin Shepard screaming on the sideline, being excited. You got to limit those explosive plays. You got to be able to limit what that Ravens offense can do because they can get down the field pretty quickly. Andrews, Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Corey's right. Do you trust the Lions secondary in man-to-man this week? Do you trust the communication in zone? What do you guys think? The keys to wisdom. Shout out to you. Lions have to be able to run the ball effectively. Goff and the offensive line need the run to set up play action and pass protection. Defense also needs the run to control the ball some. Yeah. Gibbs, Montgomery, your stars got to be your stars. I feel like the Lions offense, just a little bit better than the Ravens. Ravens have high-end talent, but I think top to bottom, you got St. Brown, who's going to move the chains. You got J-Mo. I think he'll get some explosiveness. He'll get some explosive plays. Sam Laporta is going to have a chance to get his number called. All right, let's break it down. Will the Lions limit Lamar Jackson? That's the head of the snake. That's the player that everybody knows is the leader of that offense. Are you concerned about what Lamar Jackson can do? Number 8. He has a chance to kind of do the hero ball thing too. He could toss the football, but look, he's improved as a passer. Here's the problem though. Do the Lions have enough with Al-Quadin Muhammad and Aiden Hutchinson? Just see the alert. I've just seen the alert here on the update on the injury to Nick Bosa. It doesn't appear to be ACL for those that are 49ers fans. Does not appear to be an ACL for Nick Bosa. The Ravens offense at home is going to be a problem. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a boisterous environment. Let me just check the quick weather report here. DSP Doppler. I got the Baltimore app ready for tomorrow. Beautiful. 6, 7 p.m., sunny, 78 degrees. By 7 p.m., be 74. I can almost walk from the hotel to the stadium. Chargers, Najee Harris did suffer an Achilles injury. Does that mean Omarion? It's Omarian's time, right? That's his team. I have the other guy too. I think the third running back now moves up. Beautiful day in Baltimore tomorrow. Maybe a nice walking day for me. What does Lamar Jackson do? Listen, the questions were, typically the questions fly in fast and heavy for Calvin Shepard. And it's happened like once a session where myself or another reporter, we are trying to get in questions so fast, we're talking over the coaches. Sorry, we have to say sorry. They're still answering, and we're trying to get our questions in. I could not get a question into Calvin. I got one into John Morton. I think Dave Phipp. Dan, every day I got a question in, but it's tough. It's good 20 people in there. And you're only and they give about a couple minute answer per question. So it was tough. I don't think I was going to ask about QB Spy, but it might have gone down like, hey, do you think Brian Branch, if you wanted to, could he be the guy to do it? I mean, you're just going to use the Lions' words. They need to populate to the football. If he gets out in the space, you're going to have a problem. You got to maintain your edges. You saw on the hit that Brian Branch delivered to Swift that Terrion Arnold set the edge. Now, he did have a couple problems doing that throughout the Bears game, but the one play there that you saw Brian Branch, Arnold set the edge perfectly. Your defensive backs, your defensive ends have to do the job. They got to contain. You can't let Lamar break contain. Does he? Anybody in this chat got Lamar on their fantasy team? I was forced to play Jared Goff because Jaden Daniels is hurt. So I'll have a rooting interest for Jared as well. I got to talk about it. I mean, I typically wouldn't, but I thought it was a good topic. It made for an interesting article on a Sunday when I saw it. I saw it on Thursday when Mike Valeni talked about Jared Goff. I listened to it, but I just couldn't write it then. I was just like, wow. But some of you agreed with it. On some of the comments on Facebook, it led to an interesting discussion. We'll have that here. Because I disagree. At least for this system. What do you think the Lions are going to do with Lamar Jackson? Xavier, the Lions hopefully devised some sneaky blitz packages to confuse Lamar. Jack Campbell, Derrick Barnes got to show up this game. Absolutely right. I believe Anceloni will do the job. And Donkey knows what he's talking about. Donkey Kong. Keep Lamar off the field. The best defense against Lamar Jackson is keep your offense on the field. Super smart. You know what you're talking about. This week was wild because I understood the theme of how reporters kind of were thinking and how they were formulating their stories. They picked the narrative of, excuse me here, I might just start having a sneezing fit. But I think it's kind of holding off at bay while I broadcast. It's interesting when you see the reporters, how they pick their themes. It didn't hit me because it's a new team, but a lot of them wanted to ask what the Lions felt, because a lot of the players are still here, what they felt about the 23 game, the 38-6 loss. That felt like a long time ago in my book. You know, you overhauled some players. That's a lot. I mean, there's still a significant amount of changes that happen. You got no new coordinators. So, but asking Goff and St. Brown, it was pretty basic. The questions were, what do you remember about the 2023 game? And they're all like, we got our tail kicked in. But some insightful comments came out from it. They recognized they got out physical in this game 2 years ago. It was over pretty quickly. It was basically Lions offense was pitiful, and then they were down 2-3 scores pretty fast. It wasn't a game. They got their teeth kicked in. It will not go down like that. Not with this team. This might be one of those ones where who has the ball last gets the win. But the Lions are aware that they got to play a lot better. And the offense, I think, will run the football and will target some of the young defensive backs. You got to always know where Kyle Hamilton is. You can't make this a game where he gets too much. I'm glad. Now, listen, Mike Green's going to get some more involvement. Hopefully he doesn't open his accounts against the Lions. Start tacking on some sacks. He's kind of had a rough adjustment early on. He was thrown in there because of Kyle Van Noy. He's a young player. Can you get a chance to exploit it? And look, another update came in on Nick Bosa. Shanahan clarifies that it doesn't appear that that's an ACL based on how he feels, but they got to figure it out. So another update on Nick Bosa. And then just a side note, Scott Harris ruined the Tigers. Luckily, the Guardians didn't win today, but way to collapse at the end of the year. The Lions are going to bring people joy because I did catch a little bit of the Tigers. What an embarrassment. One of your selections gets DFA'd at the deadline? That's quality work for Detroit. I hope it goes on his resume. You never root against your team, but I hope they don't make the playoffs because they're not going into it playing well. You got one pitcher and relievers that nobody trusts. Maybe that'll teach you to acquire talent, not prospects. You got not projects. That's not what you do at a deadline. Donkey Kong with the right F the Tigers. What a poor representative of what to do at a deadline. Scott Harris, you're not the smartest guy in the room, it would appear. I mean, you told everybody what your intentions were with that deadline. All right. Do the Lions take advantage of their skills defensively and stop and limit Lamar Jackson? I feel like he's got 100 yards rushing, a touchdown or two, and let's say I'm going to give it 280 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 100 yards rushing. He'll have a good game. 360 Smooth. Shout out to you. What's up, man? Been watching your podcast. Are you liking it? I think I'm in the mix. Entertaining, informative, real. Any suggestions? Let me know. Always like hopping on, talking with the people. I'm 720 Smooth. Not once around, twice around. Such a busy week, I couldn't even shave. Couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. Couldn't keep it clean shaven. Man, too. My boy is playing a poker tournament in Toledo. He's crushing it. Getting the updates here from my boy. I gotta do a lot better job of listening. I think he's playing Hold'em. Or Hold'em Omaha. I gotta find out. He's crushing it. Give him, let's go. Take it down. Shout out to you, 360 Smooth. What do you think about the game? What do you think about the podcast? I'm curious what you think. Welcome. Always leave comments. Whatever you think, man. Everybody's welcome. Yeah, tomorrow morning, Keys. Tomorrow morning. My God, Corey, I saw the numbers there. I was like, with all due respect, once Minnesota took out the weak link at quarterback, their offense exploded. My man's playing Hold'em. He's got 400,000 chips. Let's go. Take it down, my man. Living vicariously through this math genius. That's my friend. mean, literally. It might have been the ankle injury that saved the Vikings. Just a fan. The doc is on. That's right. I had to get out a whole lot this week, just once or twice. Been battling. A little under the weather. Not terribly, just like how everyone else is. Little sniffly. That's it. I feel great. Still writing, still doing articles, still finding out what people are talking about with the Lions. Still mad at the Tigers. But yeah, it was a odd week for me. Listen, the keys to wisdom. Should I skip it? I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I could just stay in town. And why do I do this? I like to travel a little bit. I want to go see one primetime game a year. You got to go see it, right? It's Monday Night Football. Big time reporters got to be at the big time games, right? You know, I'm only going to go fly out to one city. The rest I'll drive. I'll pick. It's looking more and more like I'll drive to Philly, skip Washington because I don't know if they're going to be that good of a team anymore. We'll see. Cincy might not be that good anymore. Not worth it. No Joe Burrow. Do I want to see Jamar Chase? Yeah, you could. Vincent, what's up with you? Vincent E. It's all good, man. Talking ball. And also, too, I want to give you guys some credit here. I think the optimism is growing that the Lions can win this game. You limit Lamar Jackson. I feel like there's a chance the Lions can make this a real competitive game and get the W. Check my predictions in the morning. I'll give you guys a sneak peek later on in this show. I'll give you my prediction. It's going to be positive. I feel like my writing staff will, the Lions are underdogs, so they're not expected to win. The other factor, they have to focus on Derrick Henry. That man's a beast. Derrick Henry can single-handedly find a seam and get after it. You can't let Henry run the show. Thank you to the 300 people watching so far. 2 platforms. Hit the like button for me. That's all I ask. It's free. Super chats. Go right to the front of the line. If you have a question, any gifts you want to say, hey, thanks, man, for battling the cold and talking to us, giving you the inside information. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate almost 4,000 people in less than a year. I never thought it would be received this way digitally. The audio podcast has been crushing it. It always has been. But the video platform is growing little by little. Love seeing the same faces in the chat. That's right. Hit the like button. Smash the like button for the doc. Steve, shout out to you. Yeah, they got to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Yep. Vito put down in his two players, Hamilton and Henry, I believe. So we did our preview coverage. You can see the trends. Christian did a great article. Visit, as you see, si.com/NFL/Lions. Insider analysis, highlights, videos from inside Allen Park, inside Ford Field. You'll get, none of the other sites have the videos like we do, refreshed daily. With myself, footage from inside Allen Park. That's the one thing I'm very proud of. The video player is refreshed, has local coverage, top notch. Top of the class. That's the one thing I know is top of the class. Our video player, if you go every single day, it's refreshed with a lot of new content. Different articles will have different videos, but I'm producing about 65 new videos a month. All about the Lions. All about the Lions. Some from me, some from the players, some from Dan Campbell, some from outside sources talking about the Lions. Haha, I'm super. So if I type a chat, it's a super chat. The nephew's getting in. I'm up and down in my fantasy league with my nephew. I scored 60 points, atrocious. Scored 140 points, amazing. Scored 50 points again this week, atrocious. He's letting me have it. And the obligatory, hey, what's the password? I love this kid. What's the password for X, Y, and Z? The doc is feeding my addiction. Addiction to Lions football? Let's go. What do you think, John Hughes? Shout out to you. What do you think about the game? Are the Lions going to be able to stop the two-headed monster, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson? I got the script. That's right. That's a perfect intro if I do this on a bigger scale. I'm the Doc, John McAdoo, and I got your script that you need. No copays needed, but super chats are welcome. No copays. No emails needed. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Very good. I'll credit you for that. That's good. Just a fan. I was going to get there soon. You guys are forcing, which was great because it was cool to see. You always wonder, like, is your thinking in line with what other reporters are thinking? I did a support group for the D-line, and I told you guys that Dan Campbell said we're good to really show support for his team, to talk about it deeply. You can check that out as Wednesday's broadcast live, the last one. And then another reporter did a deep dive on it too and basically defended the team. But I love it. If you guys keep saying we're good, that's your sign that you're not happy with the defensive line. Another reporter tried to debunk that and say, hey, there's a little bit of reason here the Lions are okay on the defensive line. I just would disagree. But I'm just like, I've accepted it. To win, trust Al Quidin. We'll see. I'm more skeptical. Are you concerned that the defensive line will not be able to stop the run with Derrick Henry? The best way to keep him, keep him on the bench. I could see him breaking a 60-yarder. I could also see it. Man. It's tough, too, because you got to, listen, the Lions are good tacklers, but, man, just Derrick Henry makes you miss tackles. He's just so strong, so physical. Their offensive line blocks for him so well. Corey's real. Absolutely a concern for sure. Yeah. Win the coin toss and take the football. Do not let your defense start this game. John Hughes, beyond the turnover margin, dominate the trenches on both sides. It's really that simple. Jared Goff has to play well. If there's chances to go deep, he's got to go deep. He's got to connect. We got to talk about it, guys. I'm sorry. I got to type his name in the chat here or type his name in the banner. I joked around with Adam on the podcast, on Doc and Jock, our flagship podcast. That's audio only. I said, how many games for Marcus Davenport? He's like 3. It got to 2. And you guys were not happy. You guys were not happy in any way, shape, or form to learn that Marcus Davenport is out. But I told you that if they didn't put him on IR, it might not be long-term. That's looking like the case. It might be a while. I don't know. Dan Campbell said it's not season ending, but not this week. You had reporters checking in on his sling. But it was pretty clear, it's a pretty straightforward. Most players that don't practice are not going to play. Unless Dan Campbell says, hey, we've got the benefit of Taylor Decker, who didn't practice, and then still played against the Bears. But you guys were right. In the end, there's going to be something to pay attention to with Marcus Davenport. It's just going to be something. So now you go to Al Quidin Muhammad, who throughout the week, people are saying, the coaching staff, himself, he's saying, hey, he's getting an expanded role. He's going to be out there. I don't know. To me, there's other options too. You got Wheat. You got Andre Carter on the practice squad. We'll find out tomorrow who gets elevated. I would think Andre Carter's in the mix. He's 6'6", fits that body type. Dan didn't commit to the other two new guys. He said they're still learning the system. So maybe I'm speculating because I just looked at the size profile. Andre Carter from the academy, you just saw. Look at him, 6'6", on the practice squad. He might get a chance. Maybe you fortify it with the interior more with Miles Adams. You never know. What was your question, Drago? Might unlock something in me. Who could get called up on the practice squad? You never know. And again, when I say keep an eye on, I mean, it's just straightforward. Davenport was out. That fills. Typically, the Lions go to the practice squad to maybe get some more depth. Do you trust Mekhi Wingo and Al-Quadin Muhammad and the Sam linebacker, Derrick Barnes, to do the job? Yeah, a lot of people messaged me this. They were mad when they read it. Andre Carter, they're like, yeah, okay. I'm just tired of relying on practice squad guys. The Lions are telling you what they're telling you. Dan Campbell said that, the new guys are still behind the 8 ball because they haven't been around the system too much. Nick P, good question. Why are the Lions being so secretive with the Davenport injury? They know what type of injury, but maybe not the full severity. Dan Campbell said they were getting opinions that they got him. So he said they were going to get him this week. So they know the deal. I'm sure he'll be asked tomorrow. But they're secretive because it's competitive advantage, regarding a defensive line position. And I think they know that if they say it's a 4-week injury and they put him on IR, it's just going to be negative talk on that player for a month. He gets it just off of missing practice. And Dan Campbell truly protects his players. And Davenport said his family sees all the hate. They don't want to tell you. It's funny, too, to me, to see it, because I don't typically, these reporters are good. They're hawks. They see Davenport in a sling, and they go to him like ants on leftover crumbs. They all flock to Davenport, and he's all sitting there going, I'm not telling you. I don't bother. I don't do that too much because they don't tell me. They don't go, yeah, John, I'm in a sling, and I'm going to miss the game. They have never once in the history of Everdome told me that. They just look at me and say something. They go, I'm not telling you that. So it's funny to see the reporters go up to him, and he's sitting there just kind of dodging the question, and they're all looking at him can you just they want to know? And he's just shooting them down left and right. So then they're just like, Marcus Davenport's in a sling, sitting down in a chair. They're analyzing his moves in the locker room. That was cool. That was cool to see. I don't typically do that too much. I just say here and there what they say, or some things that are funny or interesting. But the injury stuff, it's tough to do because any injury talk hurts the player. And it hurts the team because then, then the Ravens know that Marcus Davenport's out. Yeah, the reporters knew. Sling, baby, sling. So I shared on X what I thought. If he didn't go on IR, I didn't think it was going to be long-term. But, I mean, you can't. It was just wrong on Brad Holmes' part. At least it was wrong to then go, why are you guys asking me about it? Why do you think? And I think sometimes, you can't make a conclusive statement. You can't go to Brad before the season starts. Well, Brad, I'm not so certain the player that you signed is going to be around. That's good. Davenport out just 1 week. That's pretty good. I didn't see that, but I'll check it out. Like I said, I haven't been around the news today. Kind of stayed off of social media. Tigers were bad. Lions and Davenport was not, you guys were not happy with that. And Frog, you said it. Lions fans are tired of it. That's why I joked around a little bit. Brad should not release stats. He should just release lies about their injury status. This player has played in 49 consecutive games, has not left the field, and is a player that we believe is going to be healthy. We're like, Brad, this guy left the last week's game. No, he didn't. This guy's an A+ healthy player. Release the injury status. That's why when I saw the ESPN report from the Dolphins, from a national reporter saying that the Dolphins might trade, I think, Phillips or part ways with Phillips, everyone was like, yeah, he's perfect. He's hurt a lot. One of our smart followers was like, hey, go look somewhere else. Look on the Saints. They got a defensive end that's good. He's not so much injury prone. I was like, listen, Phillips, I know from Miami. We just saw him. So they're already starting to talk which teams that are losing are going to drop their players. Do you trust Al-Quadin Muhammad? Yeah, no, look, we don't have any official report. If you saw it, you saw it, but listen, we'll know day by day. I didn't see that from CBS about Marcus Davenport. I'm just going day by day. It would be good to get him against the Browns, but the Browns, home game, I think the Lions offense can blow them away too. Might be tougher. Yeah, that's the issue. He's going to have to play the whole game. He's going to have to play 70% of defensive snaps. There is nobody behind him. There's only 3 true defensive ends on the roster. The rest are still growing and don't have experience. Did I watch the Bears game? I did. I have Dak Prescott as my fantasy quarterback. Did good enough. Yeah. Wheat. Yeah, you got work to do. It's going to be tough. You got to contain. He's got to do the job. They're counting on him. I just hope he's not the reason that there's falter. They're going to pick on him. They're going to chip away at Aiden Hutchinson. This might be a game Aiden's got to dominate. How many sacks for Aiden Hutchinson this game? Aiden's going to have to dominate. Take on those double teams and figure out a way to keep contained. You can't have those rookie mistakes that Aiden used to make with over pursuing. You know what we're talking about when Aiden was a first and second year player, he would over pursue. He's corrected that tremendously. Ah, that's really nice. Motown, art, sports, and travel. That's really nice, man. Thanks for being the most semi-true Motown sports channel. God bless you. Yeah, that's really nice, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just a real dude. Real guy, just asking questions. And I just want my questions answered. But I love it. John Morton's treating me. Do you see what Dan said to me? Dan threw in a little bit of I know you want me to say that Kyle Van Noy is going to make their defense worse, but I'm not saying that to you, John. No, man, Dan, you don't got, I'll interpret what you say after you say it. I don't want you to say anything more than what you want to say. The comments blew up there too. Oh, Dan was giving John a little shot. No, man, not at all. I just asked a basic question, like Calvin Noy's not playing. What's their defense look like? He's like, I know you want me to say that their defense is going to be much different, but they're not. That's a good answer. That was good. I feel like most of the YouTubers are fairly true. They, but a lot of the reporters tend to be, busy and stuff like that. So maybe they're not as engaging. Maybe they don't know the secret. That the secret is to engage with your audience, to get after and talk to them. I don't know. Bees, AQM is a dog. Love it. I'm excited. I think Aiden gets a couple sacks this game. I feel like The Lions are going to bring the energy. They're ready. They're going to get after it. You guys were mean. Some of you guys were mean in the YouTube comments. John, who lets this guy into talking to Dan Campbell like this? And then Dan said it Saturday. He's like, what's all the microphones picking up your guys' audio? He's like, what's with all you guys and your microphones? Nobody said, Dan, the audience wants to hear the questions. That was funny. He's like, what's with all the questions? What's with all the microphones around here? Nice. Branch was a big talking point. Branch was definitely, this is a game with great safeties. Branch, Joseph, Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton puts himself in the class of Kirby Joseph. I think he's in the conversation, but I like the Lions safeties as a duo. Yeah, that's probably right, Bees. Yeah, that's why I thought somebody would speak up and say it. I wasn't there. If you guys know, I always take the last media session off because it's the fastest day and the players, that's a me day. Good evening, Phil. Shout out to you. Yeah, I think Brian Branch is key. I think he is a player, as a player, is a guy that is just doing his thing, man, can force turnovers. Who are the key players in your mind? You know it's Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Brian Branch. Now, Kirby Joseph has been dealing with things. Questionable, but he'll play. But he's been dealing with a knee ailment all year. Still got that interception. Branch is healthy. Flies to the football. You just got to play discipline. Don't want to take any bad penalties. Sunday Night Football is going to kick off in about 5-10 minutes. So about 10-13 minutes left for me in our preview conversation. Just checking in. Tomorrow, early morning flight for me. Luckily, it's a short flight. In and out. And Monday morning, back Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully, I'm back for the Dan Campbell presser on Tuesday, but I'm not so certain. It's mid-afternoon flight on Tuesday. I want to see M&T Bank Stadium. Who are the key players? I think Jared Goff on the offense. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown got to continue their connection, and Sam Laporta. I think Sam Laporta gets into the end zone a couple times this game. You know what's up, Keys. We need Decker out there and playing at a plus level. Nick P. Arnold needs to key the wide receivers in front of him. Super smart, Nick. Shout out to you. Yeah, we're going to talk about that next. Because Dan Campbell was asked directly about, and the reporter said it. Like, we don't have to sugarcoat it. Brian Branch's numbers don't indicate that he's playing that well. But Dan's not going to throw anybody under the bus. Not a second-year defensive back. He's like, we still like Terrion Arnold. We have no worries. I don't know. I wonder if the stance that Calvin Shepard took was a little too strong. Maybe Dan should have took the same stance. He's getting coached hard. They're not sugarcoating things. Man, I appreciate you guys. Steadily grew 400 people across 2 platforms. That's really nice. Smash that like button. If you have any questions, super chats, super thanks, go right to the front of the line. I think Tyleik Williams is key in this game too. The rookie is going to get an education. You got to be stout against that run. DJ Reader. If there's an unsung hero, maybe Pat O'Connor too. I asked Dave Phipp about Pat O'Connor. Yes, I did. You look like Doc Tonight. The DOC from the 313. Brian Branch has to roam that field, keep those explosives at bay. Yep. Whoever's guarding Zay Flowers. For real. Ooh, Motown Art. Look at you. Trying to start a little issue here with our last 10 minutes. Hendrickson's better than Hutchinson. Woo-wee. Maybe he'll be available. Might have been the best thing that ever happened, Joe Burrow going down. Might have been the best thing that ever happened. What kind of game are you expecting from Terrion Arnold? Now, he's giving up a passer rating a little too high. The completion percentage when he's targeted, I think he's been targeted 15 times, giving up 10 completions. You need to bring that down a little bit. Nick P. If Arnold really has 4.5 speed, he has to win with hands and positioning. These wide receivers are blazing. Arnold may just not be fast enough without being a master of technique. He's also dealing with that groin situation. Any reduction in his burst awareness, it's tough. Tough position. Ghetto Boy Juan knows what's up. Keep Tia on Rashad Bateman. Zay would put up 100 on him. So that means DJ Reed and Zay Flowers. Nick P. Arnold on D-Hop. Yeah, one of those guys is going to eat, right? I feel like one of those two, Flowers or Hop's going to eat good. It's going to be tough to stop everybody. Sorry, Lamar Jackson. Jack Campbell's for real. Pop the ball out. Hit him and hit him often. Tony, miss you, man. $25 super chat. My man, thank you. Big Bad John, Big John. Lions with the win on the road. Tomorrow night, Big Daddy. Nice. Why do you think that? Tony, always good to see you, man. Thank you. Your support means a lot to us. I'm going to get oysters on you tomorrow. And I'll shout you out. I saw the photo because I'm a subscriber. I saw the oysters photo. I'm a big fan of oysters. Not because of the taste. Because of I don't know if it's, what do they call it? The placebo effect? Might be real. Know what I mean? You know what I mean in this chat? Are we on the same wavelength? Oysters. They do the thing. Might be in my head. They do the thing. Thank you, Tony G. Bless you, man. Hope you had a good weekend. What's going on in your world? What do you think tomorrow? How's this game shake out? I'm going to be there in Baltimore. Crushing the seafood. Crushing the calf. Yeah, Xavier knows what I'm talking about right away. That's what I love about you guys. Ding, ding, bada bing. I think it's a placebo effect in my mind, but I think it, so I know, right? It's a placebo effect. But I think it. On the road again. On the road again. Lions killed the Bears, and the Bears killed the Vikes, and Green Bay sucks. Listen, just a fan. Let us believe that oysters puts a pep in your step. There's a place in Rochester, has them here in Michigan, really good. I go there once a month. Should the doc eat oysters before the game? Doc, you're really happy to see all of us. Yes, I am. Doc, you're just happy. You're just happy to see us all, huh? Oh man. Oh my goodness, that's funny. What's the Sunday night game? I'm so out of touch. I'm gonna be here like 5-10 more minutes. What's the Sunday night game? What am I gonna tune into? Gonna turn in early for the early wake up call. Let me turn in here real fast, see what this game is. What are they feeding us people today? KC and the Giants. My God. That's gonna Bulls turn. There you go. Man. Do got to give a shout out to the CBS Detroit reporter, Rachel. She brought us crab cakes on Friday. My God, they were amazing. Seasoned well, cooked perfectly. Rachel, thank you very much. It was very nice. She called me Mac. Mac, you want some crab cakes? Hell yeah. So that's all good. Nobody's really called me Mac. But that's good. They said, I think she said that they served that in the Baltimore media room too. I was like, wow, Jimmy's Seafood, I think she called it. Jimmy's. Ben Raven, you can find out from him too. He posted it. I posted the photo. So thank you. That was cool to eat, man. I walked into that media presser full of protein, feeling good. Crab cakes. Mac was gonna attack those crab cakes, but I only had one. There was like maybe 8 left. It was welcome to. It was huge. So we're eating good in the media room. I'll typically share what they feed us, how it goes. Look forward to sharing next week when I get back the review of the game. I don't do hot sauce on crab cakes. Terrion Arnold, does he rebound? Does he play well tomorrow? Does he get into the high category of PFF or in the low category? And for me, for those that want to know, I'm an East Coast oyster guy. East Coast. Mid category for Arnold tomorrow, but that's all he needs to do. Branch owes him that interception. He had one. Chaps Pit Beef in Baltimore is worth a pit stop if time allows. All right. Any Baltimore suggestions? I might have time for one or two stops down the road, from noon to about 4. Walk down the pier or walk around the city a little bit, see what's going on. Terrion's got to do it in the big stage. Branch will get him his first interception tomorrow night. Let's go. Tony G. Tony G shouting out one more time. Branch will get him his first interception tomorrow night. Let's keep that up there to manifest it. Why not? One more time. Inner Harbor, Fort McHenry, Francis Scott Keys Bridge. Got it. Yeah, communication is going to be key. Bays, you said it. What do I get at Chaps Pit Beef? We talking brisket? Brisket and oysters. Good question, Phil. I think he could do better in coverage. I think that he could still play better. To his standards, I would say no. Blitzing's got to get better, bring in the pressure. He's getting bumped off a little bit. But a lot of it's an outlier, too, because that Packers game was not good. The O-line of the Packers were dominant. But he'll tell you that, too. He said it publicly. Terrion Arnold, he's got a rebound. All right, last thing. We always got to talk about it. Mike Valenti And I know all of you are like, who's Mike Valenti? Why do you listen to him? He's got the biggest sports radio show, top 3 in the world. Top 3, at least in terms of consistency, record revenue, and people listen to him. When he talks, people listen. And he's a Spartan dog. Even though he's got a little bit of a twisted way of recognizing me, I still will acknowledge the Spartan dog. Mike takes the stance of, who is this guy putting out this content? Is he a real journalist or he's some phony baloney podcaster? No, I'm still real. I've been here a decade, Mike. But he does like my topics. But I respect that gimmick is cool. But listen, Mike Valenti has interesting stuff to say. A little bit wild, but it's interesting. That's his job. He said after Jared Goff's game that he would rather have Baker Mayfield. But Baker Mayfield had another comeback today. He's like, Baker Mayfield could get the Lions to a Super Bowl win more than Jared Goff. And I thought, okay, that's crazy. I didn't write it till this morning because I had it on my list. It was like 6th on the list. I had Terrion Arnold. I had how to watch. I had a couple things about the Ravens. I had some stuff about, some preview stuff for the game. And then, okay, Valenti I got there today. And some of you guys agreed. Man, it's a tough question. Do you think Jared Goff still can lead you to a Super Bowl? He's looking at Baker Mayfield and how he's running that Buccaneers offense. He's like, I want that. He's like, I thought that. Yeah, it was bad. You saw AG celebrating. I'm like, bro, you can't celebrate, bro. You can't trust your defense. Defensive guys always trust their defense. I knew it was over. I knew you leave Baker some time, they're going to cook. Simple as that. Let's remove the toughest of the tough question because it's hard. It's a team sport. Is Jared Goff better than Baker Mayfield? Baker's inching up there, playing very well. Steve, right on point. My man, Steve Chimenti. Baker is mobile quarterback. That's what he wants. That's what everybody sees. Baker's more athletic. But I think Jared Goff, when he's reading a defense, he's one of the most accurate passers in the league. He's at 80% in 2 games. Jared Goff deserves some flowers. But what do you guys think? Got about 5 minutes left. Is Jared Goff better than Baker Mayfield? Here's what strengths Jared Goff has. He's able to read defenses and understands how to get in and out of the plays that benefit the teammates that he's got. He's got one of the best connections with the receiver. I think you could argue that the connection between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown is at the level. It's one of the best tandems in the league. Better than Evans and Mayfield. I think the St. Brown-Goff connection is one of the best in the league and could end up being one of the best in the history of the league. If they restructure Jared's contract and you get over $40 million in cap space relief, you're going to have Jared Goff here for the next handful of seasons, no matter what. I think that's what's going to happen. Is it a close call? What do you guys think? The questions for the comments when this show is over. Will the Lions limit Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry? Will the defense show up? Are you concerned about the defensive line against Baltimore? Elquidin Muhammad. Who's the key player? We got Brian Branch and Jared Goff. Does Terrion Arnold show something this game? Lots of good stuff. This hour flew by, man. Thank you, guys. It was fun. I want to at least do twice a week most of the time. Sometimes 3. Sometimes 4 or 5. But this week was more of a rebound from training camp and the first couple of weeks. For more coverage, visit si.com/NFL/Lions. The website is called Detroit Lions on SI. Baker is very good. Jared Goff can pick teams apart with his passing game. Baker does not do that. But Mike put a specific situation. 2 timeouts, under 2 minutes left. Who do you want patrolling with a 3 to 7 point deficit? Baker's been moving that football. Xavier, shout out to you, brother. Shout out, Doc. Thanks for the fun, as always. That's what it's about. Fun, some laughter, some hilarity, some inside stories. You guys like the Jared? Check out at Detroit Podcast. Put out a Jameson Williams video that you guys liked. Him talking about nicknames for Tesla. You guys liked the Sam Laporta talking like, hey, we can come back from 21. No problems. I boxed out the other reporters this week much better. I found my spot. I was moving a little bit faster. Man, it's tough. These reporters are fast. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. Thanks for a Sunday night session. You can replay it, watch it in the morning. Yeah, you guys, 400 people on a Sunday during football season. That's really cool. Hit the like button. It's free. And thank you guys. I've seen a lot of comments where people say, hey, that guy asked dumb questions. And a lot of you say, hey, no, he doesn't. Thank you for asking. I've never really seen that before, where people will defend the work that I'm doing. That's really nice. I love it. And I know some of you are Michigan fans doing it too. That's fine. Some of you are Central fans too. It's fine. You can hate on me. I'm okay. It was cool. It was nice to see, though. Hey, some of you guys saying, hey, tough questions should be asked. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't stick out as much. I missed it. What did you think of the Green Bay loss? It was terrible. They didn't run their offense. No motion, no explosiveness. They just went with the game plan that wasn't going to work. And when they realized it, they went right back to their offense and they dropped 50 points. Well, you could say, well, the Bears defense is totally different than the Packers, but you still could have did some more things to impose your will against the Packers. Who's Olivia's favorite player? It's a good question. I'll tease it. I will ask her when we're done. She's not listening. She had herself a soccer tournament this weekend. It was rough. It was rough, guys. It was rough. She did okay, but she stepped up in competition, and these girls play physical. Oof. These girls play physical. I'm not used to that. These girls are dropping other girls playing soccer. Whew. My little baby was doing the, where's the flag? And these officials are like 14 years old. Whew. Was that who that was? I was not there Saturday. That's who that was? I did not. The last media session of the week, typically it's Friday. I don't go. That's a me day. Golf, chilling out, going for walks, write a couple stories in my office. That's kind of the day I kind of just do whatever. Don't ask any questions on Friday because it's Friday, 5 o'clock somewhere. I just don't want to work on Friday. And I'm blessed I don't have to. Too much. Still got to write, put out stuff. But that drive is tough. I thought it was a child of one of the reporters. That's really cool. They're like, bring him around Friday, bring him around Saturday. We know that guy's not there. bring him here. Doc won't say anything stupid. If that was his nephew, be like, Dan, if you lose this game, does this mean that you're not as good a coach against these top elite talent? I'm thinking Tuesday. I'll be back around 2. Dan Campbell talks Tuesday, probably. I don't know if I'll do one after the game. It'll be midnight. Got to talk to the players. Be 1 a.m. Do you want to see my face at 1 a.m. tomorrow? I doubt it. So Tuesday. You tell me. If you're in the comments, you're like, record at 1 o'clock from your hotel room. I'm not bringing the full gear. I just got to make sure I handle the operations correctly of all this. Get on the plane, get on the right spot, get it to the right town, get to the right stadium, get to the right drop-off zone. Oh, you want to update? Here it is. I have not played him yet, but I am playing somebody important. I didn't want to tease it yet. I want to jinx it, but give you guys an update. Keys to wisdom. You guys should find him on X. He goes by the name of Adam with an H. Last name starts with B. He just took a whooping from the doc. He just took a whooping in fantasy from the doc. He's all done. I still got 2 guys left. I'm up by 40. I'm going to send him a text right now. Here we go. I'm going to send my man AB, my Habibi, a text. Habibi, here it is. Habibi, I whooped your ass in fantasy. I whooped your ass. I whooped you. I whooped you. That's great. So let AB know you let the doc whoop you by 40. I'm gonna give you guys proof too. I ain't no liar. Look at that. You put me in the league, we're gonna talk. My team name, I'm 1-1. He was 2-0. Supersonic Bionic Podcaster. Let's get that score in there. Oh, that would be me, the Supersonic Bionic Podcaster. Look at that name. Look at that name he put himself as. He is getting whooped. Screenshot that, people. Whoop. Patrick Mahomes did something. Look at that. I whooped on him. I got 2 guys left. I whooped on him. Oh. I have who do I got going? I whooped on him so bad. McCaffrey 24, Omari and Hampton got 25, Nico, Steelers defense. I whooped on him. He ain't gonna reply back. I whooped on him. So I'll be 2-1. My experience came through. I brought my A game. I brought the John Morton, John Macaroon offense. Yeah. Rebounded. I lost to someone named last name Starks. I think I know who that is. Last week was not the best performance. Rebounded quickly. 2-1, baby. Supersonic Bionic Podcasters. Make sure you cheer for me and my team on my journey in this league. In my nephew's league, that has been a roller coaster. Scored 60 points terribly. Scored 130 amazingly. This week scored 40. I had Joe Burrow, and clearly he went out. I picked up Penix. My wife's like, what the hell is that? Let us know. Do you agree Baker Mayfield better than Jared Goff? I disagree. They're right on par. Guess what? He's also setting himself up for a topic because they play each other this year. All right, my 75 minutes are up. This was fun. Hopefully you get a little bit of a preview. The Lions got to get those extra possessions. They got to corral the runners. They got to play well. They got to maybe pass again to set up the run. I hope John Morton, if this gets to a shootout, can keep up. They covered. They were able to not lose by more than 14. Bro, it's good showing. Good effort. I couldn't even make it past the first 8 minutes, bro. I was tired too. Thumbs up to you guys. Patty, Keys to Wisdom, Phil, Just a Fan. Shout out to you. My man, Tony G, legend. Vincent, shout out to you. First time I think I've called on you. We have 7 of 15 that are gimme games, guys. That can put us 8-1. The next 8, all we need is 4, and bam, 12-5. Just get the ticket to the show. Nothing else matters. Browns just proved, Vincent, that any given Sunday. Can't overlook any team. That's why the scheduled game is fun. It might be. But I might wear those extenders. And one last thing. What would you nickname Tesla? Sweet Tea? Vanillatron? Odell Beckham? Whatever. I forgot what they said about Odell Beckham. Tesla. Let me see what he said. What was it? Vanillatron, Mayotron. Jimo was like, what? He's like, I don't talk like that. Shout out to Russell Wayne, who messaged on X. Villain on YouTube. Check him out. Cub Lion on X. Lions win. This is a game changer. Love you guys, man. It's fun to interact. I'll play it here quietly and mute the mic, see what he said again real fast. Let's see this video. Oh, I got 100,000 views. That's pretty cool. Oh, Snowdell Beckham. Snowdell Beckham. Vanillatron, Mayotron. Those aren't good. Sweet Tea, I think, is okay. White Beckham. Vanilla Scoops. Sticky Fingers. That's funny. John Morton's like, catch the ball with two hands, man. I like that, though. John Morton told him, hey, man, release better. You could have scored a touchdown. I like that. He's like, you don't have to do all the razzle-dazzle, baby. Catch the ball and get a touchdown if you release better. I was like, damn. I like that. Johnny Morton's like, yeah. Oh, I've seen one-handed catches before. If you would have released better and ran the right fundamental play, you would have scored a touchdown. Damn. I like it, though. That's balling. That's what John Morton should do. Be like, yeah, that's all good. Release better off the line of scrimmage, you would have scored a touchdown. Credit John Morton for a good game plan. Let's call on him again. John Morton's 2 for 2 for telling me stuff he doesn't like. One, John Morton don't like talking about losses too much from the past. Look forward, even though we have to look back to learn about the forward. And he don't like talking about specific players from the other team. That one's going to be a problem. But we'll see how he handles it if I do it again. I don't know how you do that. Like, the opponent has a defense, and the defense has cornerbacks that affect your offense. They have defensive linemen. I mean, how do you not like talking about players? No, Dan loves talking about. That's the he'll praise up he'll praise up a whole bunch of players. John Morton's like, Mike Green's good. He's solid. He's a solid player. John Harbaugh has solid players. That's not going to work for me, brother. We're going to need to work on that. All right, guys. 80 minutes are up. I appreciate it. That was fun. I got some laughs in. Oysters for the win. It's all placebo effect, but in the end, it's a fun time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to a big day. All right. Week 3 preview. Lions. They march to Baltimore. They shut up the world. You're going to see maybe one ESPN prognosticator. It'll be Raven, Lion, Raven. Maybe. I'm hoping to see all Ravens across the previews. Lions will know. It'll be a hard-fought contest. They win 30-27. Grind it out. They get the ball last. Back and forth game. A lot of momentum swings. Lions get this W. It's prime time. They got the weapons. They're going to control the clock. Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta will be your touchdown scorers. Jake Bates will do his thing. So you have my prediction. I'm thinking my colleagues will pick the other way, but I'm going to send Vito the prediction right now. Lions have too much talent offensively, and they hold on. Bees is like, I like that. Yeah, but we still got to talk about a little bit. Like, we're not saying Mike Green sucks. You just got to say, yeah, man, he's a player that came out of the draft. He can do da-da-da-da. Listen, we're trying to fill copy. That's why we're there. That one's a little bit like, hey, man, you got to kind of fill us in. I'm not telling you to tell me, hey, we wanted Mike Green or we didn't like Mike Green in the draft. We overlooked that. Just there are some times where you don't want to talk about things and you just give the standard answer. Like, Mike Green's a nice, talented player. We know out of the draft he was able to pressure the quarterback. We know that we got to pay attention to him. And he's somebody that we can't let wreck the game. We know that Kyle Van Noy's not going to be there. Listen, I'll tell him what to say. Just say it so that I can say you said it. John Morton refused to talk about players. No, the best is what's going to happen is Lions are going to win. Next week comes, I'm not there for the coordinators, and someone's going to be like, man, that Myles Garrett can sure wreck a game, right, John? And he's going to be like, yeah, man, oh my God, man, I sit in the lab and I watch. It'd be like, wait a minute. He'll just go and give it a soliloquy on how great Myles Garrett is. And I'll sit back and go, wait a minute. He'll be like, I don't like that. I kind of want it to be so funny. John Morton's like, let me tell you about Myles Garrett. I was watching his film, and man, the spin move, rip move, he can get 3 sacks on 3 plays. We got to make sure that Penei Sewell gets after it, and Tate Ratledge is on his game. And man, Myles Garrett is just one of those guys that's a game. I was like, where was the I don't like talking about players part? I like that. I'm trying to see. Well, 17 things in 17 weeks. Is he going to tell me he doesn't want to talk about? And by the 17th week, it's going to be like, John, how many deep passes are you going to throw this week against the Vikings? He'd be like, oh, I'm not talking about scheme this week, John. Finally, what's your score prediction? Leave them in the comments. Thank you to the 450 people across 2 platforms. I went 83 minutes. That's pretty good. I had fun. My time's up. What do you guys think? Do the Lions win? Do I get to see a win on Monday Night Football? Do I get to interview the players? Do I get to the stadium correctly? Do I get out of the stadium correctly? I think I'm staying a mile from the stadium. Me and Lamar are going clubbing maybe after the game. I'm going to try to get myself in Lamar's crew. Whose fur coat is going to be rocking bigger tomorrow? Lamar's or John's? Me. I'm going to wear a fur coat to the media room. Be like, who's this guy? I'm wearing the buffs and the fur. The Dietrich fur that I got stored in the closet. Yeah, that's right. Bees, you know what's up. I still don't know if J-Mo would have me yet. I feel like he would view me as like a parental figure, try to, hang out later. Maybe. The Dietrich furs and the buffs. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for the laugh. Thanks for the insights. Me and J-Mo got to go clubbing. I don't know if J-Mo could hang with me. I don't know if he'd want to go and hang with the doc till 5 in the morning. Something to think about. As I rise through the ranks of the YouTube broadcasters, does Doc get the invite to go clubbing with J-Mo? Maybe. This has been the Lone Wolves Podcast, your source for fun, a little bit of hilarity, a little bit of hyperbole. Thank you, guys. Let's talk when I get back. Go Lions. Lions 30, Ravens 27. Shock the world, baby.